Today's episode is brought to you by Dr. Jeffrey Halstead, DMD. Dr. Jeffrey Halstead has been Canandaigua's hometown dentist for more than 35 years, offering routine dental care as well as cosmetic dentistry, implants, and dentures by their highly trained and experienced staff. Visit them online at canandaiguadentistry.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram. Today we continue our series previewing local elections across the region by catching up with one of the candidates running for Cayuga County Clerk. Kristine Lytle is my guest and joins us by Zoom. Kristine, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Josh, for having me.
So let's start here. Why are you running?
I'm running because I want to give our local residents here in our county an opportunity to vote for somebody that's got some experience in the offices that are overseen by the county clerk position. Sue Dwyer is retiring, so that after 20 years of service, so that's going to open that position up. And we've worked so hard in the last 20 years to get us to where we are, to really focus on our customer service, that I really want to keep making that move forward. And I don't want to see us go back. And I feel like with my experiences, that's going to help us move into the next category of customer service where we can keep enhancing that and retain our services here in Cayuga County.
How important is, I think when a lot of people think of the clerk, they don't really understand just how much the clerk is actually responsible for, how many offices they are responsible for. How important is that experience component in your experience? Like looking back at the last 20 years, like how important has experience been in actually getting the department, the offices where they are now?
I think it's been really important. When we first walked into the offices, there was no cross training. You would have to start in the DMV offices with one cashier. And if that person wasn't trained on the services you were provided, you had to go to another cashier. So in the last 16 years, we've installed a ticket system so that you could sit comfortably while you wait. But now all of our cashiers are cross trained to understand the positions of everything. So there is no more of having to be referred to another cashier because she's more knowledgeable in that department. The clerk's office does oversee 4 different offices. We oversee the Department of Motor Vehicles, the county clerk's office, the historian's office, and the records retention center. And I have experience in 2 of those departments, the county clerk's office where I was senior clerk, and now I am in the Department of Motor Vehicles where I've been for 16 years and 13 years as a member of the supervisory team as the senior cashier there. And that experience really does help me because we're hands-on always. Just last year alone, our DMV processed 60,000 transactions. And that's a lot of transactions that we're doing in office. So it's really important that we recognize that it's a team. It takes a team to do that efficiently and to really provide good customer service to our county residents.
To that end, in-office efficiency in general on the customer service side, especially when you have folks coming in, say to the DMV, where maybe they're a little predisposed to not be the happiest. How important is it to continue enhancing that efficiency so that service can be more streamlined, it can be more effective, and people are in and out in a more timely manner?
It's so important to really focus on our customer service. We recognize the fact that people are coming into us on their lunch breaks, and we want to service those people as fast as we possibly can. We really want to focus on being able to get people in our office and service them the same day. We don't want to have to turn them away and refuse their transaction for corrected paperwork. We're now more geared to trying to help you get your paperwork, look at it, revise it right there on the spot in the office, and assist you to get it right the first time you're in the office. That's where our cross training comes in, where 4,000 procedures, it's imperative that we know each and every one of those procedures. It takes a long time to educate our staff and to develop that knowledge of those 4,000 procedures. We've gone above and beyond our customer service now with allowing transactions to come through email, which has really stepped up our efficiency. We also do have transactions now that can be processed in the office without an application. We do paperless transactions. And more importantly, one of the efficiencies in there is knowing that when you come in, we know what we are doing. Okay, for us to know and listen to you, that's how the things are getting done. We take the time, we look at you, we listen to you, and we resolve what's going on with your transaction. The understanding of your transaction, the situation you are in, is what gets us to that next level of customer service. Right now, our phone systems are off. So the only way you can contact our DMV is by email or coming in and talking to us. That to me is poor customer service. We also don't have it so you can schedule an appointment to come in if you're short on time. Those are two services that I would like to see started back up. I want our phone services turned back on, and I want to be able to do appointments so that you can come in at your convenience, whether it's more convenient to come in or to schedule an appointment or to quickly get a question just answered on the telephone. That's where we're going to up our customer service. We shouldn't have to email us, wait for a response to come back for us to service our county residents. When you want an answer, you want it at that moment.
Is there an opportunity to leverage technology, perhaps, I guess, a bit more than the county currently does or the clerk's office currently does? Obviously, staying within what the state requires of you guys.
Absolutely. I think that we need to think outside of the box as far as the DMV office goes. We need to think about outside of the box and look at what the state offers online and then bring that into our office as well. As far as our county clerk's office, they're in the middle right now of a 4-stage project called Dreams, where everything is being digitalized. We're going back to 1910 and digitalizing records all the way back. The records are coming from the old jail that we have building, which is at 97% capacity right now. So we're digitalizing those records, which I might want to add into that is what brings me into one of the things that I would like to see happen. With that, a lot of people are having concerns about deed theft. It's a thing that's prevailing now with mortgages that are being paid off, properties that are going on with properties that are for people that are summer homes and things like that, and elderly folk. We're worried about that, with technology. But one of the things that I would really like to see now that we have this software available is called deed fraud protection. What that program is going to be is you're going to be able to sign up for it for free. And what's going to happen is if somebody comes in and records a deed or a mortgage or home equity loan in your name, it's going to be a system that you can sign up for. So you'll be alerted by email or telephone immediately in case a record is filed in your name. That's going to protect you as the homeowner to let you know if somebody's trying to put a deed in their name out of your name.
Is security one of the things that you're hearing more frequently than not from folks who live in Cayuga County when it comes to digitizing? Because it seems like every county, when I talk to clerks in other counties across the region, they're saying the same thing. They're digitizing records, but they have this looming concern, some residents do, about how safe that will inevitably be.
It is true. It is a concern that people are worried about their documents being stolen out from underneath them and availability of those. We love the availability of those records going online, and we love the fact that they're going to be stored safely. Our offices in the building where we have our documents right now, there is no fire protection, and we actually did have a small flood in that office not too awful long ago, and it became a concern. You do have to worry about humidity in those buildings to store those records, and it's long overdue that we do digitalize those records. Microfilming is at capacity, and that's one of the reasons, because I want to address the concerns of safety, that I do want to do that deed fraud protection program here in Cayuga County so that we can, make people feel more comfortable with that fraud.
I want to get into the kind of challenge I assume that you guys face. The question always is, how can the county do a better job of serving the entire county, given the fact that you can't be in every place all the time?
We can't, but however, we can bring services out there. We right now have a program here where we call County Clerk by Foot, where we go out to our counties in the south end and the north end, and we do bring passport services out there. Right now, those have been kind of put on the back burner, but I would like to certainly see them start up 12 months of the year. And when we do that, there's no reason we can't also bring some DMV services out along with that. My knowledge of the DMV is going to allow me to represent myself without taking a staff member out of the office to be able to do that. I'll be able to have documents with me and help people fill out forms, answer questions for their DMV services, and utilize some of that paperwork out in the field in the north and the south country and bring it back to the DMV office where we may be able to process it. Down the road, I would love to see a satellite or a mobile service if it's within our budget. But for now, we can certainly work with those people and certainly get services out to them. Again, when the fact that we are going to be doing stuff via email and via services that way, we're going to be able to service them through the internet as well.
Makes sense. Makes sense. When a voter says Cayuga County needs a clerk that's an advocate for us, what does that mean to you?
It means somebody that's going to step up and be their voice. We want to be their voice. I want to let them be heard. We want to have services in our county that represent them. We'd already lost Social Security. We don't have that here in Cayuga County. And there's been talk about losing our DMV service as well. So I don't want to see that happen. I want to retain our DMV services here and bring more services into our county through the county clerk's office. Like right now, we're talking a lot about our volunteer firemen. We are so short on volunteers in our county. We have a giving back to our veteran program here, but we don't have anything that we offer for our volunteer firemen. And if we could come up with a program that gives back to our volunteer firemen as well, that would be great. And I think that will retain our services and, hopefully give back to our community. Because as an advocate, we need to listen. We need to bring services in. One of the things I would like to see is right now, we don't have any database that is accurate for our businesses. So when our businesses are here, that's where I would like to be an advocate, is we need to compile a list of all our businesses. We just recently had ARPA funds. It was very hard for us to reach out to our community, to the businesses, because we didn't have a good database where we had all contact information for them. So there were a lot of businesses that really did miss out on the ARPA funds that could have really benefited for them. That's where an advocate comes in and where we need to step up. We need to work, the county clerk needs to work with the legislators, work with the town clerks, work with every department that's out there available for them to reach the services that we need for our county residents.
You've said that a transition to your leadership in the clerk's office would be seamless if elected. Why are you the best candidate on the ballot this year?
Well, I feel like my experience at the DMV and the county clerk's office and working with the people, the residents of our county, that it's allowed me to grow in my position and to understand. I have been in customer service for over 25 years, and that customer service radiates in my heart. I've been a volunteer for our community since I was 12 years old, starting with American Heart Association and not stopping since. And I'm here for the people, and my experience is just going to lend me to know what we need and how to move forward. Like an example of that would be, I know our town at the DMV office I have a lot of customers that come in and they want to register their ATVs. We hear it a lot, but once that ATV reaches 1,000 pounds, it can't be registered. We don't have UTVs. So my experience is going to allow me to take that up and address that with the state so that perhaps we can start registering UTVs. The other thing is right now, one of our biggest entities and businesses in our county is our truck drivers. Our truck drivers right now have to go through ELD2 training, which the other candidates have no idea what that probably is. I can't speak for them. I shouldn't say that, but it's familiar. It's new to them. And I have the knowledge behind that to be able to lead those truck drivers to continue what they're doing. Our medical examiner certificates can't be recorded in our office. They have to go through Albany, and a lot of our truck drivers are being downgraded. So I know where we're weak, and that is one of the areas we're weak, and I am going to reach out to the state, and we are going to work so that we can start recording those medical examiner certificates in the office so that our CDL drivers are not downgraded.
Kristine, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for taking it today.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh, for having me today.
That'll do it for this edition of FLX Today. If you'd like to hear more conversations like this one, check out the show on your favorite podcast platform or subscribe to the FingerLakes1.com YouTube channel. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.